This special needs trip was the third year that we've sent a team to specifically work with children with special needs and their caregivers. The children had gone through a process of knowing that they were uniquely made. And we wanted to let the children know that regardless of their disability, that they still had a calling on their life to serve others, that God had gifted them with dignity.
I went to an interest meeting and ended up finding out that there was a special needs trip, which I volunteer at the hospital and have a heart for kids, and so I was really excited to know that we were going to be able to work with special needs children.
Really blown away by just the completely different culture that they do have within their own little community of special needs families, and just how they relate to each other, and how God is just working so differently in that culture with those people.
I have cerebral palsy, and growing up, I knew what challenges I had, and I wanted to see what those challenges were like for kids in Malawi, and see how the culture viewed special needs. I knew that God had something great for me in Malawi, and I did not want to miss out on it.
There's a fight to be won for the love you find at home. There is work to be done for you rest your weary bones. Finding peace don't come to everyone I know, so I will love in this life till I finally have to go.
We got there and they were the most loving and appreciative people that I have ever met.
All these little kids just grabbing your hands and your legs and just wanting to hug you and love you, just and not even knowing you. I can't even describe it. It was amazing.
They don't know anything about you, but they just want to be your friend and know your name and just to have fun.
Growing up, child, is just a matter of time. Giving all you've got, so won't you dance under the sun? Growing old feels like you're giving up your soul. I'd rather give it freely to the ones that I call home.
They just have different perspectives on family and authority and gender. There was so much to learn. Once you started to meet the people of Malawi, you were just so comfortable because they were so happy and just willing to befriend you.
I'd rather give it freely to the ones that I call home.
Children with special needs and their caregivers were being marginalized in their villages and in their communities. The idea of a specific program being established for a child with special needs was so foreign. And so that was a challenge that we had in trying to affirm this child of their dignity, because they needed to believe more in what God says about them than what others say about them.
You see everybody in the Malawian got in their nice surf tricks, except they've got to serve on the back of them.
These caretakers and the children see you can still serve, you can still make a difference, you can be part of this community. And we wanted the community around them to see that, to see these, kind of the least of these serving them, and hoping to kind of bridge that gap and break down some of those barriers.
We are here at the hospital, and everybody's getting an apron on. Are you gonna be helping out outside here at the hospital?
Yeah.
Awesome. About to go do some nice surf?
Yep,
Malawi edition?
Malawi style. Their whole lives they have been told, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that, and they went into it and they wanted to serve and they wanted to help.
You see all of these kids with disabilities cleaning outside, and cleaning windows and washing the floors, and the people that work at the hospital, they couldn't believe that kids with disabilities were serving them.
One agogo that I was working with, Rosemary, was so excited. I handed her a mop and she just started like crying out in her language and kind of like dancing for joy. And I looked at the translator and I was like, what's happening? And my translator was like, oh, she's never held a mop before. Like, this is a big moment for her.
It totally shifted their thought, and it made us really feel like we were a part of something that was new and growing and developing there. I don't think that will be the last time that they have Nice Serve Malawi by any means.
We don't take this for granted. It's really a great job that you have done here.
Just gave me a perspective of what it looks like to be a family and not only have community but see the beauty in each one of God's children and just see the strengths and talents and uniqueness to each individual.
We only knew a few phrases in Chichewa, and you can only say Muli Bwanji so many times. We knew a song, Palibe, in Chichewa, and so kind of when we were at a loss for words, we would just start singing, you know, Palibe, and like for a moment, we were all on the same page. We knew exactly what we were saying and who we were saying it to. It was a really beautiful moment.
Palibe ofana ni Yesu, Palibe ofana ni Yesu, Palibe ofana ni Yesu. Salsa peze kaso.
Only thing I know, everything I know is small. Yeah, the only thing I know, everything I know is small.
We wanted to challenge the children and their caregivers to serve others. And when we look in Scripture, one of the ways that we see this done, modeled by Jesus, was when he washed the feet of his disciples. We decided to end our time by doing a feet washing ceremony.
We don't even really comprehend how dirty the disciples' feet were, and just what Jesus was doing when he was washing their feet, and how much he loved them when he was doing that. And for these kids that we had been serving all week and been serving alongside to want to turn around and wash our feet.
I could just feel what it meant to be served by Jesus. A couple months after we got back, I received an email from a couple of the girls saying that they wanted to write a book about disabilities to give to the kids in Malawi.
We came up with the idea of a book that could, in two different ways, explain to both children and adults about special needs and about how these kids are made by God and they're not a mistake.
They wanted to take their own time and to take on a project that nobody asked them to take on. It's not just about going to Malawi and coming back. It's about the change that happens in you.
What he did in me is show me that I do have it in me to go somewhere like Africa and go out of my comfort zone, and it can actually work really well. And I've heard people say you're going to leave your heart there, and I didn't really believe them, but I'm just telling you, it really does happen.
I think that they were transformed, but I think that I was supposed to go on that trip to be transformed even more and to meet these people and to see Jesus' love through them.
I think that it's a start that God was just waiting for, waiting till I would take that step of faith and obedience.
The passions and the talents and the desires of your heart that he gives you are for a reason, and that everywhere that he's leading you is for a purpose and for his purpose. It just really shows me that God has got it all together, that he's just guiding our steps.